Hey everyone, welcome to today's short flow. This is going to be a quicker practice than the 60-minute classes, a 30-minute practice today. Kind of great if you need to take a short break for lunch and you want to get some movement in, if it's kind of your wake-up call in the morning, a little bit of 30 minutes of practice before you get going with your day. Just a different way into establishing a practice, a home practice for yourself while you're at home. So we're going to come all the way down onto our backs. I'm going to go ahead and assume today that you have a little bit of existing knowledge about yoga, sun salutations, vinyasa flow. So we're going to be moving a little quicker through the transitions than we perhaps do in a longer class. So if you need to take a breath and take a moment and stop and look and see what we're doing, then please do that. Don't just necessarily go for something if you're not totally comfortable. And you're going to come all the way down onto your back, really lengthening the hips towards the front of the mat and untucking the shoulders so you can feel the full length of your back on the mat. Bring your palms face down on your belly for a little bit of connection, and then draw the soles of the feet together and let the knees open wide. So a little bit of hip opening to start. If there's strain or stretch in the hip sockets right at the beginning of your practice, then perhaps take a couple of blocks, or if you don't have blocks, a couple of books underneath your thighs to support that opening. And then just take that full breath in and out of arrival. Feel that kind of flood of gratitude for having found the time to land on your mat. Our simple intention today is to move, and to move with joy, not with judgment. So real nice and simple, easy breath. And just scan the body from top to toe. Feel the muscles in your face relax, the muscles in your shoulders, your torso, your abdomen, your hips, your thighs, and your ankles just kind of melt. And then connect to the rise and fall of the belly beneath your hands. One of my favorite parts of a yoga practice is that first few moments of arrival, when my body realizes I'm going to get to do this. For how long it is, I get to do it. So let yourself feel that presence. And then start to activate your ujjayi breath. So lightly constricting the back of your throat, breathing in and out through your nose. Feeling the breath drag across the back of the throat, reminding yourself of your presence in your body by hearing the sound of your breath and feeling the texture of your breath. It gives your breath a sound. It gives your breath a voice. A couple more rounds of that deep, intentional breathing. And make a commitment to maintaining that intention in the breath throughout your practice. So if you ever need to drop down into child's pose or come out of a posture, make sure you maintain your breath, your ujjayi breathing, and you'll stay in your yoga practice no matter what the body is doing. We'll start to move now. So bringing the palms to the outsides of the thighs, gently drawing the knees towards one another. Good. And breathing the arms up and overhead, so lengthening out the side bodies, and then exhaling, drawing the palms down to either side of the hips. A couple more times. Breathe in, reach up, stretch, spread the fingertips, activate through the ends of the fingertips. Exhale, bringing the palms down. Inhaling, reaching up and overhead, and exhaling, drawing the palms down. Good. Pressing the palms into the mat, taking a breath in, drawing the heels of the feet towards the sacrum a little more, and on your exhale, reaching the hips up towards the sky, activating the belly. So we're drawing the belly in, navel towards the spine, so there's this kind of long, flat belly as you lift the hips. And then exhale, lift onto the tippy toes, exhale down through the spine and plant the heels. Good. So breathe in. Exhale up. Inhale, tippy toes. Exhale down. Plant the heels. Good. One more time. Breathe in. Exhale, hips up. Inhale, tippy toes. Exhale, lower down. Good. Plant the heels. Then we're going to cross that right ankle over the left knee. Use your right palm to guide that right thigh away from you. Flex the foot, toes back towards the knee. If that's enough, stay right there. If you'd like a little more, reach the fingertips through the figure four you've created. Grab a hold of the belly of that left thigh. Now you'll start to feel more action in that right hip and that right thigh. Maybe even a little more by extending that left heel towards the sky or the ceiling. Good. Take a full breath in here. And a full breath out. Feel free to make a lot of noise. If you're on your own at home right now, make as much noise as you want with your breath, right? Get a little wild and weird with your breath. Good. Inhale. And then exhale, lowering that left foot back down to the ground, bringing the palms on top of the belly, extending that right foot towards the sky, and maybe a little bit of rotation in that right ankle. Pointing and flexing the foot, a little bit of action in the bottom of the foot, in the sole of the foot, stretching through all that myofascia and between the toes. Good. And then on an exhale, draw that right sole back down to the earth. Nice. Crossing the left ankle across the right knee. Same thing here, left palm gently guiding that left thigh away from you, activating the left toes towards that left knee. If that's enough, staying right there, or reaching through that figure four, grabbing a hold of the belly of the right thigh. Nice. And then maybe you extend that right foot upwards, breathing into every extension. Good. One more full breath in here. Exhaling, releasing the back of the right thigh as you plant the right sole back down on the mat, hands to belly, extending and lifting that left heel up towards the sky. A little bit of action, rotation, both ways, both sides, through the bottom of the foot. Nice. One more full breath in here. And then the exhale brings that left foot down. Drawing both knees into the chest now, sliding the palms of the hands to connect to the backs of the thighs, settling the calf muscles on top of the hands, activating the belly and trying to use your core strength as opposed to your momentum. Start to gently lift yourself up. A little roll back. A couple of times through. Massaging out the spine. One more. Just for fun. And then crossing the ankles, rolling over the shins, and finding your way back into the center of your mat. Nice. Pressing down through the tops of the feet, through the shins into the knees, and then spreading the fingertips wide, radiating the weight from the heels of the hands all the way to the fingertips, screwing the eyes of the elbows towards the front of the room, drawing the shoulders back along the spine, extending the crown of the head forwards and the tailbone back into your tabletop. And then we're moving into that beautiful cat-cow transition, so full breath in. Exhale, upper body, chin to tailbone. Inhale, dive down with the belly, let the chest lead the heart through the gate of the shoulders. And exhale back up into cat. Nice. Take 2 or 3 more passes with that. Maybe close your eyes, take away all that visual sense of judgment and comparison. Maybe you add in a little extra organic movement of your own if that is a part of your practice. And one more time. Nice. Coming back into your tabletop, tucking your toes underneath your heels, lifting your hips all the way up to the sky. And then exhaling with intention, your heels down to or towards the mat. Now your heels don't have to meet the mat here. Your heels may just plant just an inch closer to the mat, but it's all about the intention of lifting through the pelvic, through the pelvis rather, so that you lengthen your spine. So come back up onto your tippy toes here. And then as you exhale, heels to or towards the mat. Come into a little micro bend of the knees here, and even more lengthen the spine by untucking your pelvis. I don't know if you can kind of see that, but you untuck your pelvis towards the sky. And then lengthen out through the knees, through the backs of the thighs. So maximum length in the spine. And then a little bit of a shake or a nod of the head
to relax any tension in the upper body. Good. And as you've landed in your down dog for the first time, little pedal of the hips through the heels, walk the dog out. And then coming to the tips of the toes, gaze forwards. Take little tiny baby steps like you're wearing your stilettos, staying on your heels, coming forwards towards the front of your mat, and then planting your heels down, bending your knees, belly relaxes. Head of the neck and the shoulders relax. And then bringing the thumbs into the crooks of the elbows if that's comfortable, and finding a little sway. It's all about lengthening here. It's not about kind of crushing your belly into your thighs or straightening your legs. It's about lengthening your spine. And then relaxing the hands to the mat. Planting down through all four corners of the feet. Rolling up through every single vertebrae. Oh, that roll up always feels so good. Reaching the hands up and overhead, straightening out the spine. And bringing the hands down through the center into the anahata, the heart space. And just taking a breath in and a breath out to feel that connection. Nice, and we're going to move into our sun salutations now. So coming to the head of your mat, bringing your big toes to touch, a little bit of space in between your ankles, about 2 fingers of space. If that's comfortable for you, if your knees feel like they're turning in, then feel free to leave a little bit more space in between your feet. And then we'll start by inhaling, reaching the hands up and overhead. Relax the shoulders down the spine. Don't take your shoulders up with you. And then exhale, forward fold. Maybe there's a bend in the knee. Inhale, hands to shins, lengthen up into that Ardha Uttanasana. And then exhale, plant your hands down to the ground. Step both of the feet to the back of the mat, coming into your plank posture. Remembering here, knees down if that serves you, knees up if you need more action. Take a full breath in here. And then exhale, elbows in, lowering the whole body to the ground in a straight line. Untucking your toes, planting the tops of the feet back to the mat. Bringing your thumbs close to your lower ribs, magnetizing your elbows towards one another. On your next inhale, going up into your low cobra. So gently lifting the back of the body towards the ceiling, pressing down through the tops of the feet. Don't let the feet fly up. Don't let the gaze travel too far forward so that you crunch your neck. Everything long and streamlined. Full breath in here. Exhale, lower the forehead. Good. One more time for your low cobra. Really make sure you're activating the belly. So all of the action here is happening in the lower back and the belly. We're not trying to really use a lot of strength in the arms. You might even get light on the fingertips and lift the hands off of the mat. Exhale, fold. And then we're going to go for that lift from the ground to plank here. I'll give it a go together. So tucking the toes underneath, toning the thighs so that the knees lift off of the mat, toning the belly so the hips lift off of the mat, planting your hands underneath your shoulders. Here we go. Woo! Up to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in here. And then open your mouth. Maybe you stick your tongue out, lion's breath. And that's a lot of tension. So when we build a lot of tension in the body, we try to find a way to open a door and release it afterwards, right? Grace and ease. The sukha on the other side of the striya is how the yogis would describe it. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, bend your knees. Step or float to the front of your mat. Lengthen out, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, reach up. And bring your hands to your heart. Good. This time, one breath, one movement. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen out, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, plant your hands, step or float your feet to the back of the mat. Find your plank, knees up or knees down. Breathe in, shift forwards, tippy toes. Exhale, lower down all the way. Inhale, lift to low cobra. Exhale, this time tuck your toes either through your knees or up and over your hips to your heels, down dog. Good, and then take a full breath in here and open the mouth. Get a little loose. Every time you land in down dog, don't ever feel like you're stuck where you landed, especially when you're using a quicker flow to get the body moving and the circulation pumping. Feel free to always kind of find a little give and take in your postures. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, bend your knees, step or float. Come to the front of your mat. Good, lengthen out, halfway up. Exhale, fold it in. Inhale, root to rise, reach up and overhead. And then bring the hands to the heart. Good, and then coming into your chair pose now, I'm going to turn around and face you guys. You feel free to stay at the front of your mat. Bring the big toes to touch once again. Little space in between the ankles. Bend your knees so that your hips float backwards towards the back of the room. So your weight's in your heels, you're light on your toes. You could wiggle your toes. And then sweeping the arms forwards and up, relaxing the shoulders. Making your hands a little wider, spinning your pinkies towards one another. Utkatasana, chair pose. Good. Take a breath in. And a breath out, sit a little deeper. Y'all remember that, right? This time I'm not here in the studio to really make you stay there, or I have to stay there too this time, so maybe we won't stay quite as long. Good, full breath in. Exhale, sit just a touch deeper. Good, bring your hands to your heart, take a breath in. And as you exhale, you're going to twist the upper body to the right. You can stay upright if that feels better, or you can send that left elbow to the outside or the in between the two thighs, coming into your prayer twist. Good, drawing that left knee back, bring the knees into alignment. One breath in and out here. And then inhale, come back up through the center. And exhale over to the other side. This time, right elbow either in between the thighs or to the outside of that left thigh. Elbows stacked one on top of the other, palms really actively pressed together. Aiming for the thumbs and the torso, the sternum, to come together. Good, inhale, come back to the center. And then exhale, you're going down into your forward fold. Good, find some length halfway up. And then exhale, plant your hands, and this time we're simply stepping back into our downward facing dog. Good, once again, full breath in here. Open the mouth, relax the chest. Good, yeah, feel that kind of give and joy in the body every time you take that full release. Inhale, reach the right leg up. Exhale, step that foot through between the hands. Lower the left heel, square your hips, rise up, warrior one. Action through the fingertips all the way over into warrior two. Good, pressing down, big toe to big toe, middle finger through to middle finger. Good, and lots of action in the inside of that right thigh and directing that right knee over the pinky side of your right foot. Nice, full breath in. Full breath out, maybe there's a little more. Good, inhale, turn the right toes to face the same direction as the left toes. Star pose, lift the chest. Exhale, come into your wide leg forward fold, Parsarita. Hands down, one of my absolute favorite yoga postures this. So if you don't like it, maybe you need to come up with an alternative, because it's probably gonna appear a fair few times. As we travel this online journey together. Good, inhale, coming to frame the left foot this time. So you're turning to face the other direction on your mat. Planting the hands either side of that left foot, leaving that right heel planted, square the hips, and then up you come to warrior one on the other side. Good, full breath in. Exhale, open out, warrior two. Nice, gaze, drishti over that front left middle finger. Feel the action on the inside of the right thigh. Relaxing the shoulders. A little smile on the face. And exhale. Good, inhale, turning the left toes to face the same direction as the right. Breathing the heart and the hands high. Exhale, fold down. Good, full breath in. Full breath out. Nice, inhaling, turning the right toes to face the front of your mat. This time lifting that left heel up, planting both of the hands to either side of the right foot, stepping that right foot back to join the left, and then we're traveling through a vinyasa of your choice. Good, there's a full breath in here. And a full breath out. Nice, inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, bend your knees, step or float to the front of your mat. Good, lengthen out, find the length through the spine, hips over heels. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, reach up and overhead. And bring your hands to your heart. Good, and as we're really rejuvenating the body, for our balancing posture, we're gonna come to, you can stay at the front of your mat or you can come to face sideways on your mat, whatever's more comfortable for you in your home. And we're gonna come into tree posture. So really intending down through that left foot, spreading the toes wide, starting to bring the weight into that left foot and get a little light on the right foot. So start to just kind of dangle the right foot there. Feel what it feels like to stand on one leg today. And then maybe you bring the hands to the hips to start. Maybe the hands are already into the heart space. And when you're ready, you start to create your tree. So either you're turning into a kickstand here, where the right heel rests on top of the left ankle, or you can bring the sole of the right foot just to the inside of the left calf muscle. Or if you have it in your practice, you can reach down, grab a hold of that right ankle, maybe a little bend in the left knee for stabilization. Press the right sole into the inside of the left thigh, coming into tree to your degree. That rhymed. And then maybe you start to play with your branches. You can get a little asymmetrical. Maybe you even close your eyes if you're solid as a rock. Good, taking a full breath in here. And an exhale. And then inhale, drawing that left knee up and into the chest. Extending that right heel forward. And in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we're planting it to the ground and stepping the feet a little wider, just massaging out the hips from side to side. And just feeling that burn that was in that left leg start to dissipate. Coming back together, feet hips width distance apart. This time intending the weight into the right foot. So slightly guiding yourself over that right foot and coming to just lift that left foot, those left toes up off of the mat on the other side. A little rotation, see what that feels like. Knowing that there's always two sides to every story, so this one might be quite different, both for me and for you. Hands to hips or hands to heart. Start to turn those left toes out, left ankle on top of right heel. Maybe you start to climb your tree. Notice there, and I can kind of notice on myself there, as soon as I start to turn that left knee out, I start to sit, and I'm exaggerating, I start to sit into that right hip. Really lift up through that right hip. Good, so intention down, root through the right foot, lift up through the right hip, and stay lifted as you bring that right foot into either the calf, or you might travel all the way up the inside of your thigh. Good, showing you in that calf position on this side. Reaching the arms up and overhead. Maybe you blow your branches in the breeze. You might even take a reverse namaste behind the shoulder blades. Notice if you're gripping with those right toes, try to release them. Keeping your gaze steady. Good. Bringing the hands back to the heart. Take a full breath in. Draw the left knee up and into the chest. Exhale forwards in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower it down. Good. And step the feet wide. Beautiful. And then bringing the palms together. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, forward fold. Palms to the shins, lengthen out. Exhale, plant your hands, and in one smooth motion all the way to the back. Good. Let's take the feet just about match distance and let the ankles roll in. And then come into our Sphinx posture. So bringing the elbows just about an inch forwards of the shoulders. Letting the hands and the wrists extend out of the elbows at a 90-degree angle. Notice if you're clenching in the butt there. Relax the muscles in the buttocks. Relax the ankles. Keeping your gaze long and low so that there's a lot of extension in the back of the neck. And if that feels nice, then staying right there. If you'd like to send that stretch down the spine, dropping the chin towards the chest. And then using these stiller postures to really notice where you're gathering tension. I can notice as soon as I let my mind release, as soon as it starts to wander, my thighs start to grip. I have to really focus on every exhale to maintain that level of relaxation that I'm looking for. Good. Take a full breath in here. Exhaling, bringing one palm on top of the other hand, resting the right cheek down, and just allowing the lower back to relax. Sway your hips from side to side. Good. And then leaving that right cheek to the mat, taking your arms out into a T shape, drawing your left knee up towards your left elbow, extending that left ankle out of the left knee at 90 degrees and flexing that left foot. And then breathing into your left hip socket. Taking a half of a frog posture here. And bringing that right palm closer into, bringing that left palm closer into your chest. You're going to gradually roll yourself onto your right side, so pressing into that right palm, sliding your right hand away for you, and you're going to take that left foot and place it behind the right knee. So really a lot of stretch in that right shoulder there. Good. If there's strain in the neck, turn your forehead towards the earth, and that'll ease off a little bit there. Good, just one more breath here. And then on your exhale, you're letting yourself roll back onto your belly. You're turning your gaze to face the other side, to your left cheek to the mat, extending that left palm out, and then drawing that right knee up towards the right elbow. Good. So right ankle extending out of right knee, 90 degrees. Right toes towards the right knee. Breathing into that right hip socket. Good. And then drawing that right palm in towards your chest. Pressing into the palm. Sliding that left arm out so you come onto your left side. Placing the right sole of the foot behind the left knee, relaxing the head and the neck and the shoulders, maybe turning your gaze so that you kind of rest on the side of your forehead there to ease tension in the neck. Really deep stretch in that left shoulder. This is especially nice if you're about to go sit at a desk for several hours, really stretching out the upper back and the shoulders before you hunch over. Really beneficial. Equally, if that's what you've been doing all day. Nice to stretch it out. Take a full breath in here. Exhale, come back onto your front. Take your feet wider than the mat. Leave the forehead facing the earth and just swish the hips from side to side. And then slowly, with as little fuss as possible, flipping our way over onto our back. Ending as we began, drawing the knees into the chest, gathering up, taking a full breath in here. And then exhaling out into your Shavasana. Good. And take up some space here today. We're rejuvenating, we're gathering in and calling in energy, feeling it from the crown of the head to the tips of the toes and the tips of the fingers, letting your practice sink in just for a couple of minutes of rest before we rise. Shavasana. Just start to feel a little flicker of movement in the fingers and the toes. Just re-inhabit that body with that breath. Perhaps letting the movement travel into your shoulders or your neck or your hips. And then reaching the arms above the head, lengthening the heels forward, stretching out from tip to toe. This is the one time I'll advocate drawing the shoulders all the way up to the ears. And then exhaling, drawing yourself into either your left or your right side, finding your fetal position. And then when you're ready, using the strength in your top arm to lift yourself all the way up into a seated position, crossing the legs, Sukhasana, and bringing the hands to the heart and closing down the eyes. And just gratitude today, gratitude for another day. Gratitude for the ability to come together with the Sangha, the community, to move, to connect, and to feel. And with gratitude always for the teachings and the blessings and the light that shines from all of us